Hey everyone, and welcome back to Tech and Trek. This is the channel where we journey through history's most fascinating chapters, all viewed through the lens of tomorrow, exploring the past, powered by the future. And trust me, today's exploration is one you won't want to miss. What if I told you that some of the most impactful, life-altering inventions, things that have shaped medicine, agriculture, and maybe even your Friday nights, actually sprang from the minds of Filipinos? And what if I said that for every globally recognized breakthrough, there's an equally captivating story, sometimes a legend, that tells you so much about a nation's ingenuity? Well, get ready, because today, we're exploring a world of innovation you probably never learned about in your usual history class. We're uncovering the shocking Filipino inventions that truly stunned the world. Imagine a world without a key antibiotic, one that saved countless lives when penicillin just isn't an option. Or picture your favorite fruit, available all year round instead of just for a short season, all thanks to a clever tweak in farming. These aren't just handy ideas, they're revolutionary changes, and the Philippines is right at the heart of these stories. But it doesn't stop there. We'll also look into those fascinating tales, those "did a Filipino really invent that?" moments that have become modern folklore. Stick around, because some of these will make you question everything you thought you knew about where world-changing ideas come from. Our first stop is a massive medical breakthrough. Back in the 1940s, the world was desperately searching for new ways to fight bacterial infections. Enter Dr. Abelardo Aguilar, a Filipino physician and researcher from Iloilo. Working for the American pharmaceutical company Eli Lilly and Company, Dr. Aguilar was busy testing soil samples. In 1949, from one of these ordinary-looking samples, he isolated a strain of bacteria, Streptomyces erythraeus. This wasn't just any old bacteria. It produced a compound with powerful antibiotic properties. This compound would eventually be known as erythromycin. Think about that for a second. A discovery from Philippine soil by a Filipino scientist, leading to a drug that would become a cornerstone of modern medicine. Erythromycin was officially discovered in 1952 and quickly became a vital alternative for patients allergic to penicillin, treating a huge range of infections from respiratory illnesses to skin conditions. Its impact has been global, saving millions and showing the incredible potential within the Philippines' own natural resources and its brilliant minds. While Eli Lilly handled the commercial side, the root of this life-saving drug is undeniably Filipino. Dr. Aguilar's story is a powerful reminder of how one dedicated person can change the face of global health. From saving lives to transforming a beloved agricultural industry. If you've ever enjoyed a delicious Philippine mango, no matter the season, you've got Dr. Ramon Barba to thank. Before Dr. Barba's work, mangoes were frustratingly seasonal, a treat that didn't last long. Farmers struggled with unpredictable flowering, making large-scale, consistent production pretty much a dream. Dr. Barba, a brilliant horticulturist, changed all of that. He developed a simple, affordable chemical spray using ethylene, that could encourage mango trees to flower almost on demand. This amazing technique, perfected in the 1970s, turned the Philippine mango industry from a local favorite into a global export powerhouse. Being able to control flowering meant more harvests, bigger yields, and a steady supply for both local and international markets. The genius of Dr. Barba's innovation wasn't just that it worked, but that it was so accessible. It didn't need expensive machinery or complicated steps. This allowed countless Filipino farmers to use the method, massively improving their livelihoods. And the impact wasn't just in the Philippines. This technique for mango flower induction has been adopted and adapted in mango-growing regions all over the world. It really shows how a smart scientific solution can create huge economic and agricultural waves, turning a seasonal fruit into a year-round global commodity. Alright, let's switch gears from the lab and the farm to something that's brought joy, laughter, and maybe a few cringeworthy moments to millions worldwide: karaoke. Now, while the idea of singing along to recorded music or empty orchestra started in Japan with Daisuke Inoue's 8-juke machine in the early 1970s, the modern all-in-one karaoke sing-along system as we know it has a definite Filipino connection. Enter Roberto del Rosario. In 1975, Del Rosario, a Filipino inventor and president of Treble Music Corporation, developed and patented what he called the sing-along system. His invention was a compact machine that wasn't just a playback device. It had an amplifier, speaker, 1 or 2 tape mechanisms, a microphone mixer, and features to make your voice sound better like echo and reverb, all packed into a single cabinet. He was granted patents for his audio equipment and his improved sing-along system in the 1980s. This was a game changer. It took karaoke out of specialized bars and made it something people could enjoy at home, at parties, and in businesses. Del Rosario's patents were upheld in legal battles, cementing his claim as the inventor of this specific, widely popular karaoke machine setup. So, the next time you're belting out your favorite tune, remember the Filipino ingenuity of Roberto del Rosario that helped put that microphone in your hand and made karaoke a global sensation. In a world full of high-tech medical gear, sometimes the innovations that make the biggest difference are born from sheer necessity and a real understanding of local needs. This is the story of Dr. Fe del Mundo, a true pioneer in Philippine pediatrics, and her incredible invention, the bamboo incubator. Dr. del Mundo, the first woman admitted to Harvard Medical School and a national scientist of the Philippines, dedicated her life to improving child health care, especially in rural and underserved areas. In communities without reliable electricity or money for expensive Western medical devices, premature babies face tough odds. Dr. Del Mundo saw this urgent problem and came up with an ingeniously simple solution. Around 1941, she developed an incubator made from bamboo, which was easy to find locally. The design was beautifully simple, yet effective. Usually 2 native laundry baskets of different sizes were placed one inside the other, with hot water bottles tucked between them to provide warmth. A hood could be attached to supply oxygen if needed. This low-cost, easily copied incubator created a warm, stable environment for premature infants, dramatically boosting their chances of survival in places where modern incubators were just not an option. Dr. Fe del Mundo's bamboo incubator is a fantastic example of culturally smart design and resourcefulness. A solution that tackled a critical local issue with worldwide implications for healthcare in low-resource areas. It didn't just save lives. It showed the world the power of compassionate, practical innovation. Long before Zoom calls became part of our daily grind and FaceTime connected families across continents, a Filipino physicist and inventor was already dreaming up face-to-face communication over distances. We're talking about Dr. Gregorio Zara. In 1955, decades before the digital age really kicked off, Dr. Zara invented and patented a device he called the photo-phone signal separator network. This was essentially the first two-way video telephone. Think about that time. Television was still fairly new, and the idea of seeing the person you were talking to on a phone was pure science fiction for most folks. Yet, Dr. Zara, a busy inventor with about 30 patents to his name, brought this idea to life. His invention let a caller and recipient see each other while they talked, basically laying down the early ideas for the video conferencing tech we use so much today. While Zara's video phone didn't become a huge commercial hit at the time, maybe it was just too ahead of its time or the infrastructure wasn't there, its importance is clear. It was a groundbreaking step, a real demonstration of what could be possible. So, the next time you hop on a video meeting or catch up with a friend on a video call, give a nod to Dr. Gregorio Zara, the Filipino visionary who saw the future of communication long before the rest of the world did. Let's turn the page to an invention that literally made its mark on the world of writing. We're talking about Quink Ink, the famous ink linked with Parker pens. The story you often hear gives credit to Filipino chemist Francisco Quisumbing for its invention. Quink, short for quick-drying ink, was praised because it dried fast, resisted water, didn't clog pens, and made for smooth writing. According to many stories, Quisumbing developed this revolutionary ink, which was then picked up by the Parker Pen Company and sold worldwide. This ink became a go-to for fountain pens, solving many common headaches for writers back then. However, the history here is a little more complicated. Parker Pen Company itself says Quink was developed in 1931 by their own chemists, which is before any widely documented involvement of Quisumbing with Parker for this specific ink's initial creation. What is documented is that there was a brilliant Filipino chemical engineer named Francisco A. Quisumbing, a PhD graduate from Columbia University. He founded Quisumbing Ink Products in the Philippines back in 1923, making inks for the local market, even for government use. Later on, Parker did license the manufacturing of Quink in the Philippines, and bottles there were labeled as such. This, along with the name coincidence, might be what fueled the story. So, while Quisumbing directly inventing Parker's Quink formula is debated and not fully backed up by Parker's own history, his chemical expertise and his own ink company in the Philippines are facts. The enduring story itself really shows a desire to recognize Filipino contributions in science and industry. Now let's jump to the very latest in modern Filipino innovation, proving that the spirit of ingenuity is alive and kicking. Meet NGR, Jeremy De Leon, the inventor of the MAKROSCOPE. This isn't just another microscope, it's a portable, super affordable device that can attach to any smartphone or tablet, basically turning it into a powerful microscope. Think about what that means: making science education available to everyone. De Leon, a manufacturing engineering graduate from Mapua University, wanted to make science accessible, especially for students in underprivileged communities and schools with few lab resources. The MAKROSCOPE, often keychain-sized, lets students and enthusiasts explore the microscopic world with ease, magnifying specimens from 125 to 400 times. It's made from food-grade silicone and is designed to be super easy to use, even letting you view wet and dry specimens. This brilliant invention didn't go unnoticed. The MAKROSCOPE has received major international praise, winning a gold medal at the Seoul International Invention Fair (SCI-IF) in late 2024 and the prestigious James Dyson Award in 2023. Thousands of units have already been given out to schools across the Philippines, empowering a new generation of scientists. NGR, De Leon's MAKROSCOPE is a fantastic example of how innovative thinking can solve real-world problems and open up education and discovery for more people. The Filipino inventive spirit is also making big waves in an area that's incredibly important for our planet's future: sustainability. In recent years, we've seen a whole bunch of eco-conscious innovations coming from the Philippines, and they're getting international applause. Two standout examples are Piloseal registered trademark and edible cutlery. Piloseal registered trademark, developed by Filipino innovators, is an eco-friendly sealant made from the resin of the pili tree, a plant native to the Philippines. This incredible product offers a sustainable alternative to regular synthetic sealants, which are often petroleum-based and bad for the environment. Piloseal registered trademark is designed for industrial uses, especially in construction and automotive industries, giving them a high-performance, waterproof, and environmentally friendly solution. Its cleverness was recognized with a gold award at the Seoul International Invention Fair in 2024, showing its potential for global impact. Then there's the creative answer to plastic pollution: edible cutlery. Imagine finishing your meal and then eating your spoon. This innovation, usually made from food-grade materials like flour, aims to directly fight the huge problem of single-use plastic waste. By providing cutlery that's not just biodegradable but also edible, it offers a new and fun way to reduce our plastic footprint. This idea has also received international awards and attention, showcasing a practical and imaginative Filipino approach to a serious global environmental issue. We can't talk about Filipino ingenuity without celebrating a true culinary and scientific heroine, Maria Orosa. A food technologist, pharmaceutical chemist, and humanitarian, Orosa's contributions during the early to mid-20th century were absolutely revolutionary, especially when it came to fighting malnutrition and ensuring food security in the Philippines. Educated in the United States, Orosa returned to the Philippines with a mission: to use the country's rich natural resources to make the nation more self-sufficient. She experimented tirelessly, developing over 700 recipes and preservation methods. Two of her most life-saving inventions became especially well-known during World War II, Soyalac and Derek. Soyalac was a nutrient-rich powdered soybean product, and Derek consisted of rice bran cookies packed with vitamin B1, which was vital for preventing beriberi. These magic foods, as they became known, were smuggled into Japanese-run internment camps, saving thousands of lives. But Orosa's genius didn't stop there. Facing a shortage of imported tomatoes, she famously invented banana ketchup, using mashed bananas, vinegar, sugar, and spices, and coloring it red to look like its tomato counterpart. This condiment became, and still is, a beloved Filipino culinary icon. She also developed calamansi juice powder, wines from native fruits, and even a palayok oven for baking without electricity. Maria Orosa's work was an amazing display of scientific skill, patriotism, and a deep love for her people. Now let's head into a fascinating and sometimes debated area: the urban legends of Filipino invention. These are stories of incredible innovations said to be made by Filipinos, passed down through generations, often appearing in textbooks and boosting national pride. While the spirit behind these claims is totally understandable, we should probably look at the historical evidence. First up, the fluorescent lamp. A common myth says it was invented by Agapito Flores, and that the term fluorescent even came from his surname. However, the history of fluorescence and fluorescent lighting is pretty well documented. Pioneers like Edmund Germer in Germany patented a fluorescent lamp way back in 1927, and George Gabriel Stokes actually coined the term fluorescence in the 19th century. Then there's the yo-yo. Often talked about as an ancient Filipino hunting weapon, the reality is a bit more complex. While the modern toy yo-yo was indeed popularized in the US by a Filipino immigrant, Pedro Flores, in the 1920s, its origins as a toy go back to ancient Greece and possibly China. What about the Armalite M16 rifle? Some stories credit its design to a Filipino named Armando Laite or Armando Malit, with Armalite supposedly coming from his name. This is just not correct. The AR-15, which became the M16, was designed by American Eugene Stoner and his team at Armalite, a division of Fairchild Engine and Airplane Corporation in the US. And finally, the lunar roving vehicle, Moon Buggy. The story goes that NASA engineer Eduardo San Juan, a Filipino, designed the LRV used in the Apollo missions. While San Juan did work for NASA and submitted designs for a lunar vehicle concept, the actual lunar roving vehicle used by the Apollo 15, 16, and 17 missions was designed and built by companies like Boeing and General Motors. It's so important to celebrate genuine Filipino achievements, and there are tons of them, while also looking at these legends with a bit of a critical eye. Wow! From life-saving drugs and agricultural revolutions to everyday conveniences and really cool technology, Filipino ingenuity truly knows no limits. Which of these inventions or stories surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below. If you learned something new and were as amazed as I am by these stories, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more incredible explorations, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. The Philippines is a nation just brimming with creativity, resilience, and an amazing ability to innovate. Whether it's Dr. Aguilar's erythromycin fighting infections globally, Dr. Barba's technique making mangoes a worldwide treat, Roberto del Rosario's system getting us all to sing, Dr. Fe del Mundo's bamboo incubator protecting the most vulnerable, Dr. Zara's vision of video communication, or the new wave of inventors like NGR, Jeremy De Leon making science accessible to all. These are stories of Filipino brilliance that deserve to be shouted from the rooftops. Even the urban legends, while needing a careful look, speak to a powerful truth. Filipinos have always been, and continue to be, innovators and world changers. And that, in itself, is something truly stunning. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And that concludes our trek for today. What a journey through ingenuity. Here on Tech and Trek, we're all about uncovering these incredible stories from the past, and seeing how they're powered by and continue to power the future. Join us next time for another adventure. Until then, keep exploring, stay curious,